Reggie, can I just ask you first, you may not know the full details, but because of players coming back, the journeys they've had to make, but Noah Siddiqui and Omar Al-Resi were the two players that you mentioned as having injuries. Do you know how serious they are?
For Noah, we checked him yesterday and he seems okay. We'll see after the training session today and tomorrow if he's really available, but we are positive. And for Omar, after 20 hours flight, we'll see. I will check him this afternoon, but we had a quick chat with him yesterday and it was positive, but we have to wait a bit.
I assume everyone else okay? I suppose that's your biggest worry, isn't it, international threats?
Yeah, they're okay. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on someone like Trey Hume having played two very intense games for Northern Ireland and now facing the weekend? Is that a worry for you, the amount of football they're playing away?
I think at that level, our players like playing intense games against strong teams, and they are used to do it. So it's not a big problem for me.
Dan Ballard's coming sort of very much into people's minds at the moment because of the performances he's putting in, not only for Sunderland but for Northern Ireland. Is he someone in the ideal world you'd love to be able to include him week in, week out in your starting 11?
Yes, he's really close to the squad. Started the season, after that got an injury, another player came in, played well, which is positive for us, for the squad, and for him as well, because the competition is needed at that level to push the players, and the dynamic is positive, because he plays at a high level, he's ready to play, so for the manager I think it's positive.
Well, I think fans are very mindful that he's not only a great defender, he's actually a threat up front.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Talking of recruitment as well, bringing players like that in. Stuart Harvey left last week. He's left quite a legacy in the time that he was here. What's the thinking about his departure and the way forward now in that respect?
It's part of the evolution and the journey of the club and his journey as well, and I think it was really important for the club. Even last season we worked together, and I think the output was really positive. After that, the structure and organization evolves, and you need to accept some different journeys.
Is there the idea to bring in another head of recruitment, or is the way that the club's now set up with Florent coming in, is there a change in the structure?
Yeah, I think the organization is evolving with new ideas. So Flo and Christian are working hard on this topic, and probably in the next couple of months we'll have different options and structure.
Wolves then this weekend. Big game for both clubs, bearing in mind you look at the table and these are the teams that you ideally want to be picking up points from, those teams that are in and around you. But it does seem like the last couple of weeks they've picked up at the start of the season.
Yeah, they are struggling in the beginning of the league, but the last two games showed that they are really competitive. They didn't win, but they deserved to win against Brighton and Tottenham. They played well, with good players, with good energy, well coached. So I think this is our league. You can struggle even if you are strong, if you are not clinical, because they got many chances to score their second goal, but they didn't. And at the end of the game, they were punished. And this league is like that. If you don't catch your opportunities, you will be punished. So I hope we'll be able to score twice to win this game, but it will be a tough challenge.
Your philosophy is very much one of attack. You like to keep going to the end of games. This game at this stage of the season is not necessarily a must-win game, but do you see it as a must-not-lose game?
Yeah, we don't know before because the scenario, because the respective forms of every teams. But every game is an opportunity. Even if you play against a strong or expected really strong team, you try to win, and after that, you will see opportunities, challenges. It's always different, but our mindset is to win points, and if it's possible, do it quickly.
Regis, did you say a moment ago you're hoping to score twice? Did you say?
Yeah, because when it's only 1-0, you know that at the end of the game, something can happen.
Yeah.
So it's better to have this margin.
Yeah. when you look at your 3 home matches in the Premier League this season, you're obviously unbeaten, but there were brilliant performances in different ways each of them. How key is your home form, the support from the crowd, the environment? How key is that, the home matches, to your survival and where you end up this season?
Yeah, it's obvious that if you can feed this dynamic at home with confidence, with this extra drive from the crowd and the community, it's still better, because away usually it's more difficult to win points. So far the form is positive, and I hope it will be the case this weekend.
On Noah, was it ankle?
Yeah.
Was it ankle? And just from the way you answered that question earlier, it sounds as though he's got a chance of playing. Is his situation a relief to you? Were you worried it could have been worse?
Yeah, it's still possible to be worse, but at the minute it seems okay. So he had this injury before, so he knows how it evolves and how serious it is when he felt the pain. So he's positive at the minute, so we'll see.
So just to confirm, is there a chance that both Noah and Omar could both start the game on Saturday?
Yeah, at the minute it's possible. Yeah.
Regis, lots of talk about the international break. What do you think about them all?
It's part of the life of football now. So we try to take advantage of the situation. If we just complain, I think nothing can happen. So for the players with their national teams, I think they are really well connected with this ambition to play the next World Cup, probably. And for the players who stayed with us, we worked hard, and I think the game against Livingston was useful in that perspective. And I hope the reconnection we'll have this afternoon will be positive, like it was for the last international break.
Nick mentioned Dan Ballard before. How good can Dan be? Because it's easy to forget he's still relatively young. I mean, certainly young to your right, but he's relatively young still.
Yeah, it fits really well with this league, because it was the case in the championship, and I think he's showing now that he can really be really good in the Premier League as well, which is really positive for him and for the club. He's still young, and he needs time to grow, to connect with this new experience, and at the same time we trust him, because when he had the opportunity to play, he showed that he was really good.
It's brilliant to see Luke O'Neill in the squad against Manchester United. I don't know if you saw, but he put out a social media post this week saying about his journey from non-league all the way up to the Premier League. What do you make of a journey like that? Because it is almost fairy tale stuff, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. Luke is a really good example of what we want to build as a club. We want to learn. So you have your own skills, your own journey, your own background, but his mentality is absolutely fantastic. So he wants to learn every day. He wants to connect with his teammates. He knows that he needs a strong collective to be a good player, and he shows every day this willingness to learn. I think it's a really good example for us.
Just finally for me, 7 games in now, I don't think really over the course of 90 minutes, certainly your team has been what I would describe as at fault at any time in this Premier League season, as early as it is. How pleasing is that from your perspective as a manager?
I think it's positive, but we can feel the danger. So it was the case in Manchester United, we felt during 20 minutes that when we struggle on in one part of our game, the opponent was really able to damage our defense. So it shows on one side that we did well so far, but it's really fragile. And if you don't reset, if you don't pay attention to small details, and they can play well as well, you will be punished. So it's still like a reset, because you will have a new challenge, new opportunities, new problems. And so we are on the edge, like every team, I think, in this league, but happy to be competitive.
Harry, you're talking about the Man U game there. I know you spoke after the game about having to make the tactical change, and I just wondered, because you love tactics, you love talking to us about it. How are you finding the fluidity of it within games in the Premier League?
It's still a new experience, I think, because we don't live the same situation twice. It's always different. And here, this year, we have a young squad with 14 new signings. So the squad is really young and without strong shared experience as well. So we are still living something new from this side, and we are playing against the best teams in the world. So they are creating new challenges, and with the squad we are learning together. So probably we struggle, and it was useful. It was negative because we lost for sure, but at the same time it's part of our learning process. So we have to accept that we'll learn through positive results, but we have to learn through negative results as well. And this experience was, I think, useful for our learning process.
And against Wolves, who haven't managed that win yet, and you talked about, they probably deserved it in the last couple of games, but do you think that makes them more dangerous? Because they'll be hungry and they'll be desperate to finally get a win.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think we can feel complacency through the squad right now. It's not possible, and I think we respect the league. Is it a team in the top of the table or in the bottom of the table? It's still a good challenge, a strong challenge. So probably we can expect something different, because they can have a lack of confidence, but at the same time they can have more power, more energy, more desire to win. So it's always the case. So for us, the main point is to respect the opponent, the league, and to be at 100%.
Is this like one of the key differences between the Championship and the Premier League? If you played the team at the bottom of the Championship, they would probably be a team that has some issues and some problems, whereas the team at the bottom of the Premier League is probably going to be a good team.
Yeah, I don't remember that it was easy last season. Never. So it was always like that. I think maybe it's the mindset of English teams. They believe that they can win against every opponent, and it was already the case last season. So now with more quality, it's obvious that it will be tough. Yeah.
With the international breaks, and there's obviously still another one to come, and it feels a little bit stop-start, but because you started so well, do you just have the same mindset that you've had all season after these breaks?
Yeah, I think so, and I think we have to stay really consistent through positive or negative results, because we are a young squad, and we'll face tough challenges. I hope we won't lose too many games with 3, 4, 5 goals, because it's possible in that league, and we have to accept that challenge. So ups and downs are part of the process, and resilience, consistency is absolutely needed, because otherwise the mood, etc., can influence your output, and we have to stay really consistent and accept the challenges.
Regis, how important is versatility for you when players come into the side? Do they always need to be able to adapt to any position, play any role, and fill in when they need to?
Yeah, it's tough because at that level, managing different positions, different tactical demands, it's not easy. It's not easy. So we have probably 3, 4, 5 players able to do that, and we have players who are really strong in their position, which is positive as well. So probably it's a question of experience, and it's needed because we'll have different problems to solve, and injuries, suspensions as well. So we are learning, but it's a question of time.
So for those players who aren't perhaps able to fill in elsewhere and are more used to just being in their position, when they come into the side, do they know exactly what they're doing constantly? Are they well drilled?
I think so. We are working hard on their connection when they are on the bench as well, because I think it's important. When you start a game, you start with the story of the game. So you face a new challenge, a new opponent, and from the first minute until the 45, 60, 70, I don't know, you are on the same page. But when you come off the bench, you have to discover really quickly the setup of the game. So when you are on the bench, it's important to assess the opportunities, the challenges, the style of play, and so on. So when you come on the pitch, you are ready. And we try to implement these ideas, and I think so far it worked well.
And you mentioned there that those who are on the bench obviously stay connected with the rest of the side in terms of what they need to do. What about those who are injured? How do you maintain their connections with the team if they're having to work individually?
Yeah, we try. For example, with Habib, he's still connected with our IDP program. So in that program, we try to keep him connected with the story of the journey of the squad, so he can learn from the experiences of his teammates and be ready when he will be fit again. Yeah.
What does IDP?
Individual development program. Yeah.